How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. It seems we have a bit of news that came out yesterday that seems to be doing the rounds, and well, it is actually quite big if you want to take it at face value. Now, of course, there's a lot of nuances to this piece of news, especially considering the source it's coming from, and well, there's even a caveat from the source that it is coming from that this could basically be a whole bunch of bogus information. So basically, the voices in my head have told me so, and I am putting it out there because I listen to the voices in my head. I wanted to put that caveat out there first before I went into this, because this is basically, again, since the Game Pass news came out, they had to make some news to make Xbox bad even worse. And obviously, Tom Warren is at the center of it yet again. And considering MBG, I don't get how he thinks that Tom Warren is an Xbox shill when that guy's sole purpose in life is to basically eradicate and destroy, you know, Xbox. But as you can see here on screen right now, what you are seeing is my tag for you to subscribe and hit that bell to stay up to date of all content I release. And if you've enjoyed the video, do consider hitting that like. But before we get into the video, do consider leaving a like, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date of all content I release. You can support me further through my YouTube membership, and of course, super thanks. There is a Patreon too, if you want to support me even further. Now, Insider Gaming over here has said Microsoft could stop pushing Xbox consoles in Europe and other regions. And you've got Gaz over here saying, remind me of when Xbox actually started its marketing in Europe. I mean, this has been an ongoing thing for Microsoft in the fact that, outside of the US, there really is almost no marketing whatsoever. Even the likes of Hellblade was extremely minimal to non-existent here in the UK. I just didn't see anything. You got Arthur here saying Europe has shown they want nothing to do with Xbox, and I disagree with this. If you don't have brand awareness, that's on the brand to make the consumers aware. The brand itself simply does not want to make anyone aware, and that's on the brand. So I don't agree with this statement by Arthur. Last time they had somewhat of a foothold over there was the 360, and during the 360 days, they had full brand awareness. They were everywhere, advertising on shop windows, they were on adverts, they were on billboards. Everywhere you looked, it was 360 this, 360 that. The marketing, the advertising, it was a big deal, and everyone knew about the Xbox 360. But it's been declining ever since because they decided to take their foot off the pedal. North America has always been the way for Xbox. Well, it hasn't always been the way, but that has been their home territory. It's best for them to focus where they are the strongest. Now, if you want to focus on one territory only, you are essentially just saying go buy a PC to the rest of the world and ignore the Xbox. And if that's the case, well, maybe people will eventually do that. But here we have Insider Gaming. Microsoft could stop pushing Xbox consoles in Europe, other regions. The marketing plans for Microsoft regarding its Xbox consoles could be changing in a major way in the latest edition of Tom Warren's The Notepad newsletter. Now, this is a newsletter that is paywalled. No one else is really talking about this outside of the people getting this information from his paywalled Notepad post, I guess. To push sell Xboxes in Europe and other regions could be going this way of the dodo bird. According to a tip Warren received, Microsoft will reportedly stop marketing the Xbox console itself in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, EMEA. Instead, the company will focus solely on Game Pass, cloud gaming, PC, and Xbox controllers. Microsoft has been struggling to sell Xbox Series SX consoles in many countries across the EMEA, and there are tips that believes Microsoft will now allocate less console stock to Europe as a result. Now, number one, those countries where the consoles aren't selling well, Game Pass itself is thriving and is doing exceptionally well. And those countries, they've actually had a good penetration with Game Pass xCloud on its own, and it's providing them with options to play games. Some of the countries just simply cannot afford a console, and Game Pass being there has actually afforded them more ways to game than any other platform out there. So I can totally get some countries, but Europe for me doesn't make sense. Warren adds that he hasn't been able to verify the information from the tipster and is still looking for more info. So basically, Warren has come out with this information without any verification. He can't, the tipster who has actually given him the information has, I guess, disappeared, or has told him that I can't verify this information either, because he probably got it from the voices in their head. And he decided to release this article because it seems like the perfect time to do that on the back of the price increase, which in itself is being over exaggerated, overplayed, and overdone. And even the talk about, Game Pass console going away, it's still there for the current customers. But to me, this whole story reeks of desperation to try and get a few more clicks. We've all known that Xbox has been pretty stagnant in Europe, where they don't actually, advertise. It's just one of those things. You've got over here, Microsoft is reported to stop promoting Xbox consoles in Europe, Middle East. Now all of them are coming out with this news article to basically confirm what Tom Warren has been saying, and then as soon as it turns out to be false or fake, everyone's going to turn around and say, well, it was reported. We didn't say it was actually happening. And regarding the Xbox consoles in Europe thing, Warren adds that he hasn't been able to fully verify the information. I'm sorry, but if you aren't able to verify the information, why are you even talking about it? I mean, I can turn around and say right now that Tom Warren's editors are looking to fire him for falsifying information. That's what I've heard. I can't verify that information, and I'm going to try and find that information out. But from what I've heard, his editors are looking to basically axe him and basically make sure he doesn't work in the journalism industry ever again. Is what I'm saying factual information? No. Could I probably get done for slander? Who knows? But at the end of the day, what I said has no less probability of happening than what he wrote here, because he is not able to verify the information, and the tipster basically said, do with this information as you will. I'm just giving you some info. I can't verify it. It's just something that's been going around in the pipeline that could be made up. It could not be made up. Who knows? And now he's looking for more information. So instead of actually doing a proper job like a journalist should, and actually verify the information and then come out with a breaking news and breaking story like a proper journalist actually does. No, he's going for that straw man effect and just taking anything he can take as made up stories and pushing it out because news is slow and they need the clicks. Now, I want to end the video by saying this, right? And I know some people are going to not like me for this, and I'm going to read the comments as well for this because I posted this before going to sleep last night. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. If you market your console as no console, no problem, then you stop people buying your console. It's really that simple. If my brother, and he's just a normie, right? He's a PlayStation fan, but not like a fanboy. It's just he prefers games on PlayStation, and that's fine. But he has money, way more than I do. And he can afford a Series X console. But he turns around and says, why should I buy one when I can play it on my TV? If he couldn't play it on his TV, he would have bought a console. And he's openly told me this. But he doesn't find the need for a console because he has fast enough internet. And as far as he's concerned, the little gaming that he does anyway, Game Pass is enough and his kids enjoy it just as well. His kids don't notice any different. So that's an actual sale lost, and I'm sure there are more people like him. I do not know if this is true. As with all things Tom, take with a grain of salt, but if true, the sales of the console are primarily on the messaging Phil and the team have been pushing. Right? And you've got Watchman's Collective over here saying, I hear you, but I don't think it makes a difference. People are either going to buy a console or they're not. See, I've already proven that fact incorrect just through my brother. And even though that is one person, that is one sale that has been lost because of this. So that's already debunked it instantly. Because I'm sure there are more people like that. If you're going to use a Fire Stick as your main way to play, you are not going to buy a console. This is incorrect. Because he was going to buy the console, but he actually doesn't need to use a Fire Stick or anything like that. He actually just uses his Samsung TV to play. but he had every intention of buying the console. But since he can do it through Game Pass, and he's going to buy Game Pass anyway if he gets an Xbox, why spend that extra money to play those games when he could just get it on the cloud? He's paying for his internet anyway. He saves 500 quid. That is his mentality. It's his it absolutely price hike. It's absolutely price hike or not make Xbox games more available. It does make it more available. It is access. Even as someone who has a console in the house, or 2, 3, or 4, if you have a screen, $50, you have an Xbox. That's just not true. It really only affects secondary sales. I've proven that that's not the case. I have an Xbox Series X and I want an S for my kid or other TV. Oh, and cool, I get a Fire Stick. He hasn't responded any further, but I said we can agree to disagree. You can buy PlayStation Premium and play PS Now on PC without the need for a PlayStation console. Why is this not taking sales away from Sony? The answer is quite simple, because they are not pushing it as the main way to game. It's really that simple. But that is my thoughts on this, right? I don't believe that this story has any real any real substance to it. I do believe that Tom Warren pretty much has just been fabricating the news because it's a slow week. And the fact that he put this here means this is the get out of jail card, right? This right here is his get out of jail. Warren adds that he hasn't been able to fully verify it. So if the information is fake, it's not my fault, folks. It's the tipster's fault for giving me the false information. Can you see how this is all conveniently working? So, again, there's a reason that I am not fond of Tom Warren, and that is because he puts out articles with no basis, no facts, no confirmation, no conviction. It's always that it could be happening, it might be happening, it's considering happening, it's possible. I mean, it's possible that I'm going to be Prime Minister in 3 weeks' time. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's possible that I might run for president one day in the United States of America. It's probably not going to happen. It's possible that I'm going to fly that in the next 10 years. But the reality is, if it doesn't, well, humans haven't engineered the way to fly yet. Do you see where I'm coming from? None of these journalists are actually coming out with anything that they can put their name behind with conviction. They're all chicken pieces of crap hiding behind double-edged kind of words in order to be able to back out the moment shit doesn't go their way. And I'm kind of sick of it. Either come out with something that you're happy to put your name behind, or just don't at all. This clickbait bullshit that is coming out from, Tom Warren, there's a reason why the guy is a meme, right? The guy is a meme in the Xbox community. There's a reason. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I don't believe for an instance that Xbox is going to stop pushing consoles in Europe. They stopped that since 2022, to be fair. But I don't think they're going to entirely stop it, because completely pulling out of the Europe just doesn't make any sense, because the moment they even remotely consider doing that, the rest of the world is basically being told, go buy a PC to play Xbox games or go buy other platforms. And this is essentially conceding them doing everything else that people have been saying. But I don't believe that for a second. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, and I will see you in the next one. Remain legend.